My name is Bill Matthews. I compete every day against me and my fears. I say no to fear. I just get up, walk towards my fears.
This is the Everyday Competitor Podcast. Each episode features people just like you, winning in their career, workouts, and life just like you want to. All because they've chosen to compete every day. Here's your host, Compete Everyday founder, Jake Thompson.
Bill, what's happening this evening? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jake, how are you, sir?
Good, buddy. So you've been a longtime member of the Compete community. Tell everyone listening and watching today a little bit more about yourself, where you are, what you do. Help us get to know you.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a father of two grown kids. I guess they're not kids. My oldest daughter's 34. I got a son, 21. I'm a grandfather of 5. I'm 52 years old, been married for 26 years. And on top of that, I've been clean and sober for over 30 years.
That's awesome. Man, quite a story, quite a few things I could dive into there. So first I want to ask, you've got just kind of this infectious spirit now. You're all about seizing life, having the right attitude. It sounds like throughout your life, though, you've gone through some changes and some challenges and some journeys. At what point did you kind of take on this competitor mindset for life in your life?
Well, I mean, as far as life to make a spiritual change in me, that happened when I was 21 years old. But athletics it happened much later. I played youth sports growing up, but then other things, not so good things got in the way when I was about probably 14 years old. And I really went away from the athletic side. But I really changed my life around and started competing to just stay alive when I was 21 years old.
That's awesome. And so what does that look like now for you on a day-to-day basis? How are you competing physically? What are you doing? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the difference today, my journey, health and wellness started about 5 years ago when my son at the time patted me on the belly. I was 45 years old and he said, "Hey, Pops, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me." I had taken on a new role at work and had gained some weight. I said, "This is not going to happen to me." I'm 6'4". I weighed about 222 pounds at that time. And I decided to get on my wife's treadmill that was collecting dust in the living room. And I ran a mile for my first time. It was like, man, I kind of like that. And I put on a pair of shoes or got some running shoes and went outside, and my life has never been the same.
So you do a lot of races and events now. What are kind of your go-to things?
My go-to, well, race-wise, it's a little extreme because I'm an ultra runner, which I never thought I'd do that. So my go-to thing I like is a long run on a Saturday with a couple of my ultra running buddies, and we just get out and unwind from the week and, put anywhere from 15 to 30 miles up in the mountains.
Dude, so people listening to this are like, wait a minute, you do a fun run for 15 to 30 miles. That is you've got to be mentally disciplined and strong to endure some of those races. Flashback with me to the first time you decided to do an ultra marathon. What was that experience like, and what did it teach you about yourself?
The first ultra run I did was about 3 years ago, and it was a 50K. So that's like 31.2 miles. And obviously it's up in the mountains. I was about ready to quit running because I was a street runner, ran numerous marathons on the road, and said, I'm just done. It's beating up my body because of the concrete. So I opened this ultra running, trail running magazine and said, I want to do something spectacular. And I told my wife, hey, I want to do something extreme. She goes, are you kidding me? Like, you're not already doing that? And I said, I want to run, a long distance, longer than I think I could run. I want to challenge myself. So I signed up for something called the Bandit. It was a 50K up in the mountains. It's probably about, 4,000 feet of elevation gain throughout it. And it took me a heck of a lot longer than I thought it was going to take because I thought I could. It was a true test of will, because somewhere in there you want to give up, and I refuse to give up. I am dedicated to almost everything that I do to the extreme, maybe to a fault. So, but I completed it, and my family was at the finish line with hugs and just amazement that I survived.
What were you telling yourself in your head? Kind of what was going through your mind during those moments when you're like, I want to quit?
There is a mantra that I learned a long time ago, and that is, don't let your head give in before your legs give out, because our bodies are capable of doing a lot more than we think they can. If we just got to push it. Maybe you gave me a reference to a book not long ago, and that's How Bad Do You Want It? I think that's Matt Fitzgerald. And it's perceived effort, right, is the main focus that I got out of the book. It's like, we are so capable of doing things, but yet we give up on ourselves way too easy or way too soon. So I felt so accomplished when I was done with that. And of course, when you're done, you're like, I'm never doing that again. And the next morning you get up and go, where do I sign up for my next one?
So on that note, what do you have? What's a goal you're training for, working toward to achieve this year? Maybe on the course or out in life?
There's a couple things. Obviously, ultra running is always the highlight of my life. And I'm currently training for a 50 miler. It's called the Leona Divide. I've done that a couple times. So now it's going to be a race against me to try to beat time. But personally, as I've spoke to you before on email, I'm studying to get a certificate, National Academy of Sports Medicine, to become a personal trainer. Not that I want to personally train individuals. I want the knowledge to help as many people as I can. I don't know what that's going to develop into yet, but my career where I'm currently at is probably coming to an end soon, and I'd really like to do something where I can really help my aging community, my tribe, my over 50 people, so I could tell them, hey, you're not dying, man. You have the opportunity to just start living. You got to just start moving. So that's really what I want to do.
That's awesome. No, I love it, because age is just a number. It is not a limit. Unfortunately, most people don't carry that mindset. I know a lot of people listening and watching this show have experience walking the path that you're getting ready to walk, stepping into that. So I'm hoping some of them will comment on this video. We'll definitely get you connected with others that have transitioned into that coaching, finding that niche. You have your niche. How do you best serve and market them so you can get off on this new journey on the right step? All right, Bill. So what is something you want the community to know about you? What do you want the Facebook community, the listeners, podcast group to know about you, Bill Matthews?
Like I said, I think something that I would want them to know is that don't let age define you. Like you just started. If you didn't know how old you were, how old would you be? Our head tells us we're too old for that. You're never going to be able to accomplish that. Don't listen to your head. I do a lot of morning rituals to get out of my head, whether it's, get up early in the morning and I drink a fresh, a cold glass of water. And then I do a morning meditation and sometimes with my wife to quiet my mind and focus on my goals for the day. But as those things creep into my head, I got to keep saying, hey, I've proven to myself over and over again that I'm capable of doing some pretty amazing things, and not to listen to my head.
Love it. I love it. Bill, incredible advice. Thank you so much for taking some time out to talk today to help us get to know you better and your story. I appreciate you being on the show.
Jake, I really want to say something before I found your community in San Diego, as you saw from a shirt picture I sent you. It was like 2012. And
early days, man.
Just to watch your journey and who you've become is astounding. I mean, you've really developed into quite you've always had a great message, and now you're really, man, you are spreading the word. I am on your team, part of your tribe, and I want to also, because to compete every day, I'm competing against myself. You know what I mean? So
every day,
I want to say thank you. Thank you for who you are and the message that you're getting out there, because you're inspiring people. So
I appreciate it, man. You have no idea how much it means to me, and for those of you, and especially you've been along for that ride, and it's been a heck of a roller coaster, But it's been a lot of fun and brought a lot of amazing people just like yourself into my life that I've had the opportunity to watch as well and get to know in interactions. And so thank you incredibly.
I will have to get you out on a trail with me. I know you're doing these little half marathon things. Got to get you out there on a little 50K up in the mountains where you can see the beauty of this planet.
Man, I tell you what, I've got more running to do in my 2019, so it looks like I need to start increasing some volume to take it up a notch. And my buddies that we all did the half, we've talked about continuing to kind of raise the bar on what we sign up and do. So something like that may be in the future.
Yeah, you never know what's in the future for you. You might I don't know. You might get addicted to it like I did.
That's right.
My name is Bill Matthews, and I'm an everyday competitor.
Thank you for listening to the Everyday Competitor Podcast. Visit www.competeforyour.life to learn how you can get connected with other competitors, contact the show, and find free resources to help you compete every day in life.